But the teaser has been set in stone. It's kind of early, to be fair. I wasn't expecting this, but technically speaking, in winter, this is what they've got planned. The next big step for solo leveling Arise. The next arc and the introduction of the Ant King. And for us, the players, this is going to be a huge step up in terms of power. Because BERU the Ant King because in terms of shadow strength, if you want to say that, or like the more tougher shadows that we get, BERU is up there, probably top three. I don't think he outbeat. No, Bellion's 100% number one. Kamish is, well, no, the Red Dragon. I don't think BERU will outbeat. But yeah, with the release of the Ant King, this really does put things into perspective. With that, if the game doesn't do justice here, it's going to be awkward as hell. It's going to be awkward as hell. So we are ending off the year. We are ending off Solo Leveling Arise 2024 with obviously the Jeju Island arc that's going to be happening during the winter. But as the developers have started teasing, BERU, the Ant King, the next biggest thing for the game in terms of storyline and where we're going, and that will then at the end ultimately come down to that being our shadow. Now, as I've just mentioned, BERU is one of the strongest. I think in terms of shadow wise, like strength wise and whatnot, I think BERU outbeats everyone here. I'm pretty sure in saying. That being said, it's going to be questionable on what BERU is going to be doing in terms of skill factor, and I'm hoping that they do give him some good authority. I just hope that they stay true to the lore, that's all, right? Because again, he is, for me personally, I would say BERU outranks all of these current shadows, of course. Now, with all that being said, we're also one step closer of actually furthermore going up on our ranks. So we've got, obviously we've got the elite, we've got the knight, and then we've got the elite knight, of course, and this is kind of where it ends. But as we're all aware, it is going to go up by 2 ranks. I'll put the images up right now because again, we kind of knew about this, but it was too early on to expect this much of a power creep in terms of with Sanjay Mu getting stronger. Obviously the shadows are getting stronger. This was more for a later piece of content. Now that, you know, we're kind of moving over to getting, you know, one of the top strongest shadows, which will then eventually lead into getting the strongest shadows, of course. I think it's only a matter of time where it's going to happen, where we're going to be able to promote our shadows even furthermore by 2 tiers, because it's only the extra 2 that we're getting, unless they want to go furthermore on. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, the game, they can do wherever they wish. We'll see, but at the very least that we know there's an extra 2 tiers to be gained through these shadows on yeah, providing them with 2 more rank ups, of course. Now, what the cost is going to be, what materials are we going to be needing, I don't even want to think about, because I mean, right now with the shadow tracers, if we are going up by 2 tiers at a later time, which more than likely will be the case, especially after BERU's release, of course, once we get into the top shadows. I'm expecting those 2 tiers to be added, and from that I would actually expect them to provide more shadow traces. Who is this? Why is BERU breakdancing? What am I watching right now? What? Where did Alpha? Okay, all right. Yo, imagine if within the story he just starts breakdancing on your dead corpse. Oh my god. Anyway, so December, yeah, new shadow. Okay, so there's nothing. Oh wow, wait, is that meant to symbolize something? Because I don't know about you guys, but that looks like a flying ant holding some essence or something. I don't know, could just be an image. Interesting. Either way, yeah, new shadow for December. It has to be BERU, unless they pull another problem where obviously Kaiser was supposed to drop in September. It only seemed right. There was an issue, so they had to flip the shadow for October early on, so that way Kaiser then will now come out in the upcoming update. So hopefully that doesn't happen, and hopefully there is no issues. If that is if that is the case, then we're chilling. Okay, yeah, so that pretty much confirms that, so we're cool with that. We've got Greed, which is Huang Dongso's shadow. I'm actually should this, I mean, if they didn't do the whole original format, then I think we would have already had Greed, and that also states for GMO. To be fair, I thought GMO was going to be releasing at the end of end of the year, to be fair, but plans have changed, and yeah, the developers have kind of sped things up a little bit. But yeah, with these two shadows, I don't regard them higher than BERU, to be honest. So that being said, if with the release of BERU, if they want to apply the 2-tier rank ups, I mean, it is doable. And then of course the last shadow. So when this shadow gets introduced, I'm expecting something insane. So if you guys don't know, Bellion is like the Grand Marshal. No other shadow can compete. This is the shadows of shadows, if you want to call it that, in terms of the lineup of Sun Jin Woo's shadows, of course. So I don't know what on God's green earth what the developers have up on their sleeve with this one, but I'm expecting some craziness. This is probably the most anticipated shadow that a lot of people are looking forward to. So I mean, to be fair, with how quick they're going, we could very well expect Bellion releasing next year. To be fair, I was really thinking that maybe once we get Bellion, that is probably when we get the 2 tiers. But I think the 2 tiers will already be implemented leading up to his release. So I think BERU will be a nice little point, especially going into next year, to then get the initial 2 promotion tiers. So that's pretty much what's remaining. Again, this is outside of like Kamish, aka like the temp shadows. This is outside of if they've got more original shadows planned, which they probably do. I think what the case will be is knowing what the remaining shadows are, they'll probably space it out and throw in a good amount of original shadows in right now, so just prepare for that one. I reckon Bellion is 100% going to be the end of next year. Somewhere around near the 4th quarter of the next year, I'm calling it right now. They are going to savor this shadow as much as possible. I cannot wait. But anyway, so that's pretty much what's remaining, what is left. And yeah, I think having those 2 additional tiers being added will be 100% after BERU. Because right now, I would say BERU is above these 2, and most shadows underneath Bellion. So if we exclude temp shadows, would BERU not be number 2? I mean, that's what I would class it as. But anyway, that's that's everything. That's the remaining shadows. Just kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about it now that yeah, Big Rock has got his +2 tiers, where he goes purple and then into the pinkish purple, looking pretty badass if you ask me. But that clearly is an increase in power scale. It's gonna happen, and shadows do hold a lot of value in terms of increasing our power level. Hence why, as I've mentioned, I went straight for Big Rock and powering him up. I just need, developers, if you want to make it so that we can get more resources going on for the shadows, that'd be very much appreciated. In terms of the growth, appreciate it. So we'll see what happens after the release of BERU, and then kind of see on the direction that they go with the additional 2 tiers, because it's going to get added. It will get added. It comes down to on when. It's 100% more than likely going to added before the release of Bellion. So sometime next year. I'm not sure how they're going to plan it. I'm not sure how it's going to go about doing it. I don't know what the cost is going to be in terms of ranking up. But if they do implement it, then I'm expecting more ways to get resources. That, or if they want to let us know ahead of time, then that way we can start saving a lot sooner. So that way we can focus on, focusing on shadows that we want to build up first things first. So